We are back, and what we do, we bounce that basketball. Spurs, the NBA champion for 2014, and there's been a lot of bouncing, not just of basketballs, but of players
bouncing
around. NBA Summer League going on. Spurs lost in triple overtime to the Washington Wizards last night, but nonetheless, if we go to the middle part of America, I almost was going to play. I went back to Ohio. I should have probably played that one for LeBron. But he's being coached by an alum of mine, and that being now coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, David Blatt. But he was coached by somebody who's been near and dear to me and most of my adult life, and that was our former Princeton head coach of basketball and Hall of Fame coach, also part of the Sacramento Kings. So we want to see what Coach Pete Carill has left the now newly ordained Cleveland Cavaliers coach who will coach LeBron James and see how this will work out. I think the Spurs will do pretty well anyway. But we welcome back, nonetheless, Hall of Fame coach Pete Carill. Coach, good morning and welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Hey, how are you?
Well, I'm watching golf.
We are too. In the studio, we are privy to see Rory and Ricky Fowler go at it here.
Sergio making a push.
Sir, watch out for Sergio now.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He's being more mature than he used to be.
Yes.
Coach, what would you say to a guy like Sergio Garcia just about the temperament and how he goes about his craft?
He's a lot more mature. As I say, when he first came in there, he was subject to different swings and things like that. They build him up too much, European sensations, and you know when you get that much of a build-up, there's no place to go but down. And so it looks to me like he's gathered the mental side of his life, and he's really very mature, putting a lot better, and I think that he's going to be a force. But this young boy at McElroy, he's unbelievable.
I think he's going to make his dad about $300,000+ too. How about that? You know, that's a good son, huh, Coach?
That's right.
Well,
say that again.
Tell us, you had the pleasure of coaching so many folks, and I'd love to see one day your coaching tree, especially from players. And Dave Blatt, coach now newly coached, crowned for the Cleveland Cavaliers, was a guard for you back in school, 78 to 81. Tell folks, because, you know, they see him now, and he's had a tremendous playing and coaching career. But you had him when, you know, before he was 21 and things of that nature. And so how was Coach Blatt as a player at Princeton?
Well, he was as good as he could be. He wasn't very fast, an excellent dribbler, a decent shooter, good defender, but played hard all the time and had a thorough knowledge of the game and a very good team player.
Absolutely.
So he sort of carried that over into Europe, into Israel, where it's very tough to coach there. They don't like, you know, they fire guys over there more than they do some of their missiles, right? And the Russian is the same thing. So he's been under pressure to be good, but now he's going to the top league in the world and coaching the top player in the world. And just a question of how they relate to each other will determine his success.
Coach, and you know, to the extent that you may, has Coach Blatt now given you a call? And
no, he hasn't. He hasn't called me.
Okay. Well,
I haven't called him.
I just made a thought, and again, it's early in the process that you know, because you also did the years in the NBA with the players that you know, we kind of work as a good family. I've appreciated the knowledge when you come to Jason Garrett's football camp. And Coach, I'm sorry I didn't see you this year. I heard that you had made at least a cameo appearance. I just wanted you to know I actually won this year. I won the Super Bowl this year.
Well, I wasn't feeling so good.
Oh, okay.
That was the problem. I had a little bit of a heart problem there, and so I couldn't go to the banquet that night, and I had to leave early. Because you know you got to be a little careful.
Absolutely.
So that's why.
Well, we certainly.
But I enjoyed I enjoyed the whole San Antonio series. It's and to be honest with you, that's a little bit about what Dave's all about. I mean, trying to put a team together, all the forces that go into it. You know and of course, I think one of the things about the NBA that I didn't like was the fact that the players themselves listened to guys because of the reputation rather than what they said.
Interesting.
So, never having coached in the pros, Dave's going to face that problem. You know, the comment was that can't happen in NBA. But he has the advantage of knowing that a lot of the successful players in the championship team are from a foreign country. And they have a coach there that's committed to them playing team basketball and involving all the players and the various things that they do well, like the centers who pass the crap out of the ball. You know, very unselfish. You know, a very unselfish team, and run the ball and have good ideas about how they're going to score. And he might be able to do that with Cleveland. But a lot of that depends on how LeBron feels, because he's the best player in the league right now.
We're talking with Hall of Fame basketball coach Pete Carill, who also was Dave Blatt's college coach at Princeton. You know, all the things that I've seen and read, you know, and then at least knowing two of your former guards personally who have coached and doing well, and John Thompson III, and also Joey Scott. If some's good, more's better, and it seems like all these guys are teaching and coaching well on whatever major level they're at. This should almost be I dare say business as usual, because it is LeBron James, and there's going to be a lot of spotlight on Coach Blatt.
Sure. Well, you know, when LeBron left for Miami, I felt bad myself because I looked at him as sort of a hometown boy who made friends with unknowns, little kids or strangers that that went to see him play or were part of the Akron, Cleveland scenario, what he called the Northeast Ohio, and I still remember him being involved in the playoffs where he had a shot to take, but it was a difficult shot, and Danielle Marshall, the champion three-point shooter, was wide open in the corner, and he threw him the ball, and he missed it. And he got a lot of heat from some of the major players that he wouldn't take the big shot. And of course, taking the big shot at that time went against what he had been taught by his high school coaches and everybody else that was involved with him. So I felt bad about that when he left. But coming from a city like Cleveland, going to a city like Miami, there's a different way of living there, and his willingness to come back to his roots in Akron and Cleveland sort of was, to me, was a reaffirmation of what I thought he would be, a level-headed guy who loved to play and would make other of his teammates better and play with them, and not never being too big to talk or to help out in any way. It's sort of the impression I got of that kid, and so I hope I'm right about that, because that'll help Dave, because those are the things that Dave believes in, and I remember hearing this from Red Auerbach too when I first came to the league, because he liked me, and I worked at his camp, and he said, you league, if you have a good leader or good guys, you'll never have so much more fun in your life. On the other hand, if you have somebody that's a drag, it's going to be rough to coach. So I don't envision that with him. If they listen to what he says and the actual content, then I think he's going to be okay.
Well, it's going to be interesting as things unfold. It's just kind of, again, a solid Princeton pick doing things on the national stage, and we certainly appreciate knowing that these gentlemen and upstanding coaches have come through you. And I just appreciated enjoying you for the 4 years that I was at school and had the opportunity to see that. And just knowing, too, that you wanted to be a football coach as well, and that you come out and join us every summer and coach or at least stop by.
It's always great to see Jason, and he's one of my favorites. And, of course, I liked some of the key players on the team. And I love the quarterback a lot. I think he gets unusual pressure, and they had a porous offensive line. So, I mean, I don't care how fast you are, you can't get away from all those guys. But he performed admirably, and I liked her tight end catches everything. I mean, it's just a good team there, and I hope they can shore up their defense, because then if they do, they'll be a contender. Of course, that'll make Jason a heck of a lot happier, but I root for them as I root for the Kings. I mean, Popovich is some coach. What the hell he's done with that team is unbelievable.
Yes, well, we certainly are Spurs fans down here. A tremendous organization, well coached, and we always appreciate the kind words that you have for the Spurs and your appreciation, given your legendary status, Coach Pete Carill, of affirming what the Spurs fans enjoy every season. So with that, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you for your time as well. Like none other, and we look forward to seeing you either before Jason's camp again or back out there.
Right. Okay,
and no, coach, that I'm the defending champ. So we certainly appreciate it, and thanks for your time as always.
Good. Well, thanks for calling. Good luck to you and the Spurs and the Cowboys.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Pete Carill, Hall of Famer, and it's just great to know these type of folks. I'm going to have to look to Joseph. Can we sneak in? The shout outs, or do we need to come back, or what do we need to do? We can do them now. Chico, you ready?
No.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. This is going to be crazy. Stay with us. There's always one in the year right here on Laying Down the Law.